He was going to be able to shoot the basketball like this is the end of his career. I told you, stop lying.
All right, let's stay with this game. Cavs and Bucks, LeBron and Giannis, if you will. A big night for the Greek Freak, which is what my kids call Chobani yogurt. Giannis with 27 points, 14 boards, 8 assists. His Bucks led by as many as 20 in this one, but the Cavs mounted quite the comeback. Tied the game with 2 minutes to go until Mr. Antetokounmpo iced it with a layup and a free throw in the final seconds. Bucks win 119-116, spoiling a 39-point effort from LeBron. Here he is after the game.
You're not going to win them all, but you want to try to continue to get better and better. I thought in the fourth quarter, we kind of picked up on what we didn't do in the first couple 3 quarters and started to get the wave going back in the right direction. So, like I said, it's a long season, and I know those guys, we beat them the first 2 times. Here once and then back in Cleveland, so they was extra motivated, and to have a boost like Eric Bledsoe, that definitely helps as well.
Nick, you were looking forward to this game since Monday. Yeah. On Monday, you were like, guys, this is a good one. Let's just circle that one. What did you learn at the end of this one?
I learned 2 very important things. One about the Bucks, one about the Cavs. About the Bucks, they're not scared. The Bucks had lost twice to the Cleveland this year already, including Cleveland wasn't playing well. This was their only shot at getting a split for the season series. This is the last time they were going to be playing them in Milwaukee unless they play them in the postseason. And Milwaukee was down, I think, 9 early and then dominated for 2.5 quarters until the big fourth quarter comeback. And Giannis wasn't scared either. Giannis wanted to guard LeBron. He had trouble guarding LeBron, but he wanted to guard LeBron. What I learned for the Cavs was this. This team is playing with a totally different mentality than they were not only early in this season, but at any point in the regular seasons of years past, because they almost any other year they would have packed it in the fourth quarter. Down by 20, you've won, I think, going into that game 18 of 19. Like it's not a critical game. Listen, just not our night. We had a big win the other night in Washington, lose to Milwaukee. It is what it is. And to see that bench unit erase the 20-point deficit, it was, I think, Ty Lue doesn't get enough credit, deserves a ton of credit for sticking with them. D. Wade hit some big shots. So I think really positive things from both teams coming out of this game.
I'll go with the Cavs first. LeBron, and I talked a little bit in the highlight, LeBron's ability to shoot the ball and score the basketball from anywhere on the court, to me, is the best. This is the best LeBron that I've seen offensively. I mean, he is lethal from 28 feet and in. I mean, he's lethal. I haven't seen him shoot the ball that efficiently and with as much confidence. And what it will do for him the rest of his career, I believe it will open up the court. Now, as far as Milwaukee's concerned, they had to win this game. They had lost 3 in a row. You mentioned they lost the 2 previous games to the Cavs. They play them 4 times. But Eric Bledsoe being added to a young, talented team led by Jason Kidd, the coach there, this was a huge pickup. Who is Eric Bledsoe? We don't know because he's been playing in Phoenix. But you're talking about a quality. A guy can play the point. He can play the 2. He has range, a good enough defender. But what he brings to this team, to me, I thought he was the difference and one of the huge subplots to last night's game.
Let's talk about Giannis, because the matchup we all wanted to see was Giannis and LeBron. Is there any way after what you saw last night that he might have cemented himself as the second best player maybe in the East?
Oh, to me, that's absolutely what he is. I mean, I thought that going into this year, that's what I thought he would show the world, and he's done it. And the fact that he is another one of these young guys that's dominating the league, that might be strong, that is having dominating performances without being able to shoot the basketball is remarkable to me. And one just like he can't shoot.
Okay, you keep saying that. Explain it to me. Explain to me when he's going to either learn to shoot, or will this be him in his career? Like, will he learn to shoot?
6 feet away from the basket, he's not a good shooter.
And typically, if that's the case, you are easy to guard. Guys will just play off you. Listen, it's different if you're a 300-pounder. It's different if you're a guy that's playing with his back to the basket. Those guys are never easy to guard. But if you're a guy that's playing on the perimeter and you can't shoot, guys will back up off you. Giannis is such an athletic freak, CC. Even when you're backed up off him, he can get to the bucket.
Well, he can get to the bucket very unconditionally. His ability to dribble the basketball. Typically, when we have someone that has that length, they can't dribble, and they're not as athletic. So he can take his guy off the dribble, Jenna, and he's got go-go gadget arm and as far as his length. So even when he takes off from unusual spots on the court, he can get close enough to the rim. That's why it's something that we've never seen, even though we're in the era of greatest shooters we've ever seen.
Right.
But you can't play zone defense for the most part in the NBA. So if you can dribble and get in the lane and create your shot, you can still be very, very effective.
But it's also why the addition of Eric Bledsoe was key. Because you can't have a bunch of non-shooters on the court. This is what we've talked about with Lonzo Ball. If you have a bunch of non-shooters on the court, the defense can contract, and then those open lanes where Giannis can get to the rim, there's an extra defender there. When Bledsoe's out there, it's one of the reasons Tony Snell's valuable to this team, even though he's not a great player. He's a guy you have to respect his three-point shooting. So I went into the year believing that Milwaukee, not Boston, would be the biggest threat to the Cavs in the East. I still believe that because they are figuring things out as it goes on.
Wait, you think Milwaukee is more of a threat than Boston to the Cavs?
I do, because they're...
You must have watched a hell of a game last night that I didn't see.
Well, it's the progression of the team as the year goes on. It's the addition of Bledsoe, and it's the length on defense that I think can give anybody trouble. Like, I think Milwaukee's upside in the East is higher than any team except for Cleveland.
Yeah, I think Giannis is going to struggle in the playoffs a little more because the style of play is a little rougher. And he's not going to get the calls that you get during the regular. He's going to have to make some shots in the playoffs outside of 8 feet.
Can I tell you one thing just real quick?
Yeah.
4 of the youngest, best stars in the league. Giannis, Ben Simmons, Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis. Countries of origin for those guys, Greece, Cameroon for Embiid, Australia for Simmons, Latvia for Kristaps. Wow. That is, like, the NBA has always been an international league, more so right now with international stars than ever before.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
If I knew that it was so popular to not be a good shooter and play basketball, I would have been amazing on my senior year high school basketball.
You'd have had to be the shooter, Jenna, with your size. When you come in the game, everyone's yelling, "Shooter!"
5'5",
right.
dude, 5'5".
Yeah, so you got to be a shooter, Jenna.
I was the tallest one on my team.
Okay.
Coming up,
Good.
back to football. Why did they yell so much with the 5'5"?